Webheads, guess what day it is? Well, it's Tuesday. That means we gotta get ready to take notes for next week's most anticipated comic books. Hey, all my webheads out there, welcome back to Comic Book Corner 2.0. And fans, I am your host, Mike Spider Slayer, always helping you make decisions on what comic books to buy. And today, guys, I'm going to be bringing you my top 10 most anticipated comic books for March 17th, 2021. That's right, guys, it's never too early to start that pull list for next week. And like I said earlier, hopefully this helps you make decisions on what comic books to buy. So before we get started, everyone, if you want to consider being a member of Comic Book Corner 2.0, help support the channel, all you got to do is just go onto my home screen and just hit that join button. There's different tiers of membership. Once again, it helps support the channel. I appreciate it. And I thank all of you for taking the time just to watch, hitting that subscribe button, hitting that bell, and giving this video a thumbs up. So let's get started this week, guys, with the hot seat. That's right. Once again, these books are for March 17th, 2021. And this week's hot seat goes to Superman Red and Blue. This is issue 1. You know, the more I think about it, the more I don't want to buy this book because, again, it's just another one of these, you know, Superman books or DC books or just comic books in general that have multiple stories in them. I'm trying to get away from the anthology books and trying to get books that just have one or maybe two stories or whatever it is that's not going to break my bank, right? So when it comes to this Superman Red Blue or whatever it is, Superman Red and Blue, again, that's what it is. So when it comes to the page count on this one, it's 40 pages, it's $6. I don't have too much to say about it. This was just one of the books where I'm like, I gotta put a book on a hot seat because I'm kind of excited about all the other books. It looks like Superman might be on there, so that's why it's kind of on the hot seat this week. So let's move on to number 10. And number 10 goes to Erratic issue 4. Now, Erratic is done by AWA Upshot, and this is issue 4 of 5 of the series. And it's about a boy. It's very much like a Spider-Man book, where he gets these powers once a day, and he can only use them like 10 or 15 minutes at a time. And so he tries to do what he can in that amount of time by saving his potential friends and things like that. However, when it comes to this book, there's a lot of characters, and they're really trying to compress this story all in 5 issues. And I feel like when it comes to this book, it needs to be spread out a little for more issues, okay? I guess that's what we can say about Erratic. Nevertheless, it's a very interesting book. I love learning about the characters, and I want to see our character's journey continue, and the main character's name is Oliver. So when they get done with issue 5, I want to see if, for whatever reason, they come out with a volume 2 with this, so we get to learn more about our characters, our villains, and things like that. So this book definitely has potential. Again, it's very compressed, but I like it. It's 32 pages, and it is $4. All right, so the next book coming in at number 9 is The Flash, issue 768. So, if you guys read Infinite Frontier issue 0, we got the big news that Barry Allen is retiring as the main man, The Flash, right? And he's passing the mantle on to Wally West. Now, a lot of Wally West fans have been disappointed in the stories of, you know, DC Comics on making him a villain. Well, now he's going to be in the main Flash book, carrying on the legacy, and I'm very curious to see how this book goes forward. And what I want to know in the comment section below, what do you guys think of this direction? Do you think it's going to stick? Will it lead into the future state storyline that everyone hated? I'm very curious on your guys' thoughts, but hopefully you're happy for now that they can give Wally some justice. This book is 40 pages, and this is a $5 book. Now, I'm assuming why it's $5 is because of the extra page count, and you're going to get a backup story in there. All right, next, moving on to number 8. This is Justice League issue 59. I cannot believe that I have a Justice League book here on this countdown written by Brian Michael Bendis, but I am definitely interested to see what this book has to offer and how Brian Michael Bendis is going to write this Justice League. This is like my last straw when it comes to him, because Brian Michael Bendis in his early Marvel days did so well, and then ever since he's come to DC, it's definitely been a disappointment when it comes to Superman and Action Comics. Now that he's on a team book like the Justice League, let's see what he does. The only thing that I do realize right away is that he's putting Naomi front and center of this team and really focusing on her. Do the other characters take a wayside, like they are off to the side? Are they on the back burner, you know? And how is Bendis going to decompress this story? Because if you were to read the description, there's a lot of story threads going on with the different characters. So it looks like maybe the plot of the story is going to go on forever. So we'll see what happens with this book. Again, you know, it has what? Superman, Batman, Flash, Hawkgirl, Aquaman, Hippolyta, Naomi, and Black Adam. So those are some of your Justice League members in there. It's 40 pages. It's also a $5 book. All right, next, coming in at number 7. If you guys are interested in Captain Marvel, this is a new jumping on point. This is Captain Marvel. This is issue 27. We just got done with Carol being in a different timeline, and she winds up getting back to her time now. And she's got new powers, or I guess enhanced powers. And this is a reasonably priced comic book, and this book is 28 pages, and this is $4. So we're going to see if she can somehow, you know, get back into the groove of things, because she's been gone so long in this future timeline. Now she's got to fit back into where she came from. So we'll see what happens with it. Captain Marvel issue 27. All right, next, moving on to number 6. This is SpiderWoman. This is issue 10. Now, I wouldn't say this is the best point to jump on SpiderWoman. I think this is concluding a story arc, and if you want to jump on to this series, I would say issue 11 is the series to start jumping on, okay? This has to do with a story about what is her female villain, and she's been diseased, and she's been trying to find this cure, and she found out that she had, you know, about her mom and, you know, her brother, and she has a niece, and so there's a lot of family dynamic, a lot of character growth in this story, which I appreciated. But again, there's a lot of story to catch up on. Wouldn't recommend jumping on this at issue 10. I'm liking the story. I like the artwork, and I'm very curious to see now that we're 10 issues into this, how is the story going to progress with issue 11? I mean, she's going to be going back to her original suit. So, again, we'll see where it goes. Regular price comic for these days, 28 pages, and this is a $4 book. All right. Let's move on to number 5. Number 5 is X-Force issue 18. It's titled Welcome to Their Nightmares, Quit and Inquire. So the last issue was really good, and I'm really enjoying X-Force. And it seems like when X-Force comes out, it's always featured around certain characters. Like before we had Ten of Swords, it was really focused on Colossus and Domino. This time it's featured more around Quit and Inquire, which I appreciate because it's really a lot of good character growth. And we get to see Quentin kind of grow up in the last issue. He gets a new costume, which looks pretty badass. And we get to see his relationship with Phoebe, which is one of the Cuckoo sisters, and why she has feelings towards him. And then by the time we get to the end of the issue, there's like all hell that breaks loose in issue 17. But it made me want to continue the series, and it made me really like Quit and Inquire a lot more. So this book, again, for today's standard, 28 pages, $4, right? All right, next, moving on to number 4, we have Iron Man issue 7, the Book of Korvac, book 2, part 2. So obviously we still have Iron Man still dealing with Korvac in this series. It's been a lengthy story arc. Iron Man was basically disassembled in the last issue, and he had a broken neck, and we wind up getting to see his allies try to fix him, and he has to stay in the suit, otherwise he will basically fall apart. He really has to mend himself inside the suit. He's going to be doing battle against Korvac. We get to see all his other allies wind up living based off of what happened in the last issue, which was kind of cool, because I was wondering, you know, they can't kill off Scarlet Spider, right? And so he winds up living, which is, you know, is no surprise there. But it's an interesting story. It's got good artwork. I feel like it's picked up. It's got Patsy Walker in there. It's really developing her character. Why they picked Patsy, I'm still not quite sure. Is she going to get a series in the future? Is she truly, you know, Iron Man's next love interest? I don't know. But if you're going by legacy numbering here, this is issue 632. This book is 28 pages, and this book is $4. All right, so let's move on to our top three. And my top three here were very difficult. Any one of these could have been my number one, because these books are really good. Well, one I think is going to be really good, and that's why this is number three. And this is Nightwing issue 78, Leaping into the Light, part 1. So Nightwing is back, and it's written by Tom Taylor, which I think is absolutely outstanding. So obviously Tom Taylor, written Deceased. He's written Injustice. All his DC stuff has been good. Most of his Marvel stuff has been pretty decent as well, but not as strong as DC. And now that he has a title or an opportunity to write a Batman family book, and it has to do with Dick, I think Nightwing could be back on top once again. So I'm really excited about this particular direction. I heard Batgirl or Barbara Gordon is going to be in this series as well. I think the character development is going to be outstanding. Character emotions are going to be outstanding, and that's what Tom Taylor does. He really knows how to tear at the heartstrings a little bit and really get you invested into these characters. So I have high hopes for Nightwing. This book is 32 pages, and it's only a $4 book. I hate saying it's only a $4, but when there's all these $5 and $6 books, it's a bonus right now that you can still get these $3.99 books. All right, so coming in at number 2, this goes to Donny Cates' masterpiece. This is Thor. This is issue 13, continuing the Prey storyline. This is part 5. So we have a vengeful Donald Blake that is going after anyone that is friends with Thor. We get to see that the jig is up, that Jane Foster knows that Donald Blake is completely evil and insane. We see Donald Blake in the last issue completely lose it. He's destroying the World Tree, like he's chopping it down. Thor knows what's happening at this point, you know, but he's still trapped. We see Jane Foster go to Odin himself, and it's going to be interesting to see how he rises to the occasion and how they're going to battle against each other. The artwork in this has been superb. It's been a page turner ever since this story arc has launched. So good. If you're following legacy numbering, it's issue 739, 28 pages, and $4. All right, so what's number 1? Well, number 1 goes to Radiant Black issue 2. Now, I love the first issue of this. This one is written by Kyle Higgins, and Costa does the artwork, I'm pretty sure. And it's titled Better Off Red. Now, what was so good about the first issue was you were introduced to our character, Nathan, and we wound up finding out that he's a guy that's just down on his luck. He's a writer, and he just hasn't succeeded, and he has to go home and live with his parents, and this is like an everyday thing. This is what people can relate to, that they're down on their luck, they're struggling in life, and then all of a sudden, this superpower comes to him, and he's learning how to deal with this superpower. It reminds you, obviously, of like Spider-Man, right? And the artwork was gorgeous in this. And after you got to learn about Nathan and then his little companion, his friend, his best friend, I forgot his name, we wind up finding out that there is something else. There is a Radiant Red, and this dude is robbing a bank. So he's using his power for evil. Now, right away, classic, you know, red versus blue, evil versus good. But my theory is, when it comes to Radiant Black, is I think there's more colors. I think there's a Radiant Black, there's a Radiant blue, or there's a radiant red, and there's a radiant green and yellow, and it's like Power Rangers. That's what Kent said. He's a huge Power Rangers fan, and I think these people are going to team up eventually and form something huge, and there's going to be other villains out there. That's my theory. I could be completely off, but I want to know in the comment section below, do you guys agree with that? And could that be an awesome story to be told there? So I can't wait to see character development, where this book will be 20 issues from now. And the great thing about this book is also it's only $3.99. So guys, there you have it. There are my top 10 most anticipated comic books for next week, which is March 17th, 2021. Now I want to know in the comment section below, what are your most anticipated comic books for next week? And again, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, don't forget to hit that bell. And if you like comic book covers, I'm going to leave you a video right here where you can vote for your favorite comic book cover of the week. So thank you guys for watching, and until next time, enjoy those comic books, everyone. Take care. Bye.